In this video, I'll show you how to create a custom diode or custom parts. So if you have a project open in OrCAD Capture, you can go to Place, PSpice Component, Modeling Application. This allows you to create your custom devices. Let's go with a power diode. So click on here, and then you can establish the breakdown voltage. So you can specify all these things. We'll go with something that is hard to find or doesn't exist. Something like a breakdown voltage of 2000 volts and a forward current of 64 ampere, something ridiculous like that. You can go ahead and click place, rotate with R on the keyboard, and just click and place it. Now it has been placed and it has these parameters in it. What we can do is apply a voltage and a resistance and a ground to test the diode. So actually I'm going to grab this, rotate with R. Now let's place a voltage source. Let's go to Place, PSpice Component, and we'll choose Source, Voltage Sources, DC. Right click and mode, hit W on your keyboard to wire the components, or you can go to Place Wire. I need to place a resistor in here actually, so I will delete this trace. And I can go here, my PSpice part search. By default might be available, it might not. If you want to see that, you can go to Place, PSpice Component, Search, and it will pull up this option. So under all categories, this would typically pull up for your list of parts. Let's double click on the R, hit R on the keyboard, right click and mode, hit W to wire this, escape. I'll drag this text out of the way. So a 1 kilo ohm resistor seems fine. Let's go ahead and place a ground. You can scroll down here and look for ground, or you can type in GND. But this usually doesn't pull up the best results because it's a ground symbol. So you need to go to Place, Ground, and then see that 0, click OK, place it, right click and end mode. Now go to place a wire, connect that, right click, end the wire. Then let's place a voltage. Say our operating voltage, something like 12 volts DC. I'll create a new simulation profile, DC test. I'll set it just to bias point. What does it behave like in steady state? And run the simulation. With the bias point, I see the values here and the voltage drop. And here there's a bit of a voltage drop across the resistor. Now let's go ahead and check out the reverse breakdown performance of the diode. You can select the diode, rotate it in place with R, and it will reconnect. Then we'll do a sweep of the voltage. So we'll choose DC sweep for the analysis. Then we have voltage source, set that to V1. You can choose your start value for V1. Let's say 0 or 100 volts, but we'll start at 0. And the end value can be 2500, just to see how it performs this diode. Then we'll look at the increment here. And we're going to see that if we set the increment to 100, that gives us a smooth graph. Click apply, then OK. And then we're going to measure the current that's going through this diode and see how that changes when we go past breakdown. To do that, we will choose the PSpice markers current into pin option, and we'll select that. Right click end mode. Now run the simulation. Notice that there is 0 current going through this pin until around 2000 volts. Then we start getting conduction in the reverse, in the direction that the diode is supposed to be blocking. That's where it breaks down. All right, so that is how you can create your own custom diode and how you can use PSpice modeling application to create your customized parts.